And continuing MediEvil, time to go and finish the pumpkin phase of the game through the pumpkin serpent. A dramatically shown pumpkin boss, the pumpkin. Yeah, it's very dramatically shown boss, much more dramatic than the stained glass demon and on the Guardians of the Graveyard.
The King Pumpkin sleeps. If you want an audience with this regal plant, you should mash all of his pod sacks.
Yeah, that's the big hint about the game. Destroy the pods. There's 9 of them. And then once you destroy the pods, and once that's done, and there's also something sort of interesting little cauldron over there. Once I actually hack these things apart, yeah, sword does these things down much faster. So let's just open the inventory and use the witch talisman, because witches brew stuff in cauldrons.
Greetings, kind sir. I am the pumpkin witch. I'm like a mother to those pumpkins. I give them all the love and care a young fruit could ever ask for. From the moment they first push a shoot above the soil, right up until their heads are cut off and eaten. And look, see how they repay me, running around and causing mischief. That nasty old big pumpkin has a bad influence on the young seedlings. If you teach him a lesson in manners, I might give you a nice present.
I don't know, did they... because, well, in some cases I am certain that they did reuse the... And she looks quite spooky. Well, whatever you say, that the game... Yeah. Yeah, life bottles go down. Dan guzzles the life potions up a real big pace. Well, those things went down quite nicely. So let's just fill up the bottle. And grab the silver shield. Even though I don't remember having even blocked much once. Oh yeah, that thing I don't put on yet. Yeah, I got the chalice now. And chalice I can only get after I have made the pumpkin boss appear. 2 pots remain. 1 pot remain, and where might be that one final pot? Oh yeah, it's somewhere around here. This stage is simple in that sense. Pots are not difficult to find. And that well, having those tentacles around it is quite blatant hint that there might be something important there later. Yeah, it's not complete. It's not very subtle, the set pieces of this game, always. But you don't always need subtle to be good, because if you have something important, don't try to be subtle. Don't be clever. There's no hints are not way to do things if something is important. That's quite good principle to that is what a principle I admire, that if something is important, don't go for the clever or witty, go for the effective. Oh yeah, it was just here. But now the boss, pumpkin boss is awake. Big head, tentacles. It has to die. And little sword slicing just ripped it apart. Oh. It restored parts. That's a new mechanic. Which I don't remember seeing in previous one. Well, so let's just break it apart again. So yeah, it did get more complex. Still going for the same path of completely absolute power attack. Once again, it's opening up parts, that part, that part, that part. Oh yes, it was this spot also. And this spot as well. Once again, don't make it so that I have to keep that I have to. Oh, it does look like it has taken damage. Oh yeah, chop it down again. More. Yeah, he looks quite damn bad. Did he go down already? Yes, he did go down. Now the tentacles and all that shrivel up and die. And more flowers and better flowers can get up. Yeah. Boss fight was more complex than it previously was, and it's even underlining that yeah, go to the well. The tentacles are now completely gone. So I guess it's quite common video game trope that something interesting stuff is found in the wells. So going up the path again. Yep. And the fountain's gone. Boss fight was more complex, or will I say it was longer than original ones. In original one you just chop it down once. Well, this kind of little extra surprise is not bad. Oh shit. Actually no. I may have to go back to say hello to the witch again. Actually, I do have to go back to say hello to the witch again. But I have better equipment. Actually, I know I have to get back to because there's something important that I just missed by not going to the witch. I was so preoccupied with the Hall of Heroes. Oh, but there's a centaur.
Look at you running around in your bones, Fortescue. You're so nouveau dead. I, Ravenhooves, last prince of the centaurs, have not galloped the earth in over 10,000 years. Do yourself a favor, Fortescue. Take my longbow, more powerful than a crossbow. The option of flaming arrows, it is truly the weapon of noblemen. Congratulations! You don't quite have my breeding, Mr. Johnny-come-lately, but there's hope for you yet.
And a longbow. It's quite a good weapon, but its basic form is not so good. So, looks like I have to redo the pumpkin serpent, so have a chat with the witch. Annoying, but my mistake. Now, defeated the Pumpkin King, so let's just call the witch out again.
A most edifying spectacle, sir. Man and vegetable in a magnificent duel to the death. Oh, I've come over all of a doodah. Here, have this lovely dragon gem as your reward. Oh, lovely majestic creatures dragons are.
Oh yeah, and this is important thing later in the game. So, time to continue to the next stage. Sleeping Village. The new stage. A kind of interesting one as well. Yeah, that's a real silly pun. A lot lively, yeah. Deadly, yeah. And this stage also has a bit of a gimmick. Oh, about to sneeze. Sneezing. Good for health. He's got a stomach and muscle. Let's just squash some rats as well while I'm at it.
Poor villagers. The master possesses them. It mustn't hurt them. Hurt guards, though. They seek out an object of great power.
Oh yeah, this stage has a gimmick. And the gimmick is that you must not kill the villagers, because killing civilians is not heroic thing to do.
A crucifix once stood here, but the mayor took it. Find a replacement and see how the church should really look.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a real church. Because Sony wasn't so picky about religious imagery as Nintendo used to be. I don't think Nintendo is as picky, squeamish about religious imagery now as it was then. And a little bit of a puzzle. Push. But I can't, but even if I push that open, there's not much point because I didn't have the room. So let's just close the floodgate, and that the water spraying statue drop makes the central square. How could people live in a city like this? It's got quite spooky geography. It's so dangly up and down so much that makes almost confusing. So what? Let's.
History of Gallowmere, Volume 1.
Oh yeah, there are books telling about the story of the game.
History of Gallowmere,
And you are not a guy interested about history of this place, so. Well, there's a metal cast. So yeah, the locals aren't particularly known for being friendly. Especially in this condition to somebody who is heard to be quite undead. Even though undead itself should not be a punishable state of affairs, because hey, Dan didn't have any say about that. Hey Dan Fortescue, do you want to be undead? And he didn't have anything to say about it, because well, he didn't have. He was dead. Undead people usually don't say anything about how they should be. Even though my idea is something that if something is dead, you should let them be dead. They most likely, well, it depends on how things were. They might actually prefer being alive instead of dead. But yeah, it's a bit, it's got a bit tricky navigational things around here. But I have to get the crucifix cast here, and then I can use bellows to make heat. But there's well, I don't have any metals to make the cast, so I have to go wandering about. And this stage doesn't feel as pleasant as it felt in the original one, because well, original one had it felt more spacious. Camera was further, so it was much easier to just go around. Was it here? It was some place that I. Well, how did I got the rune? There isn't many places that I could actually even go. Oh yeah, here was the location. Oh yeah, now I can get. Yeah, not there. That's the smithies. That's the church. Well, luckily the citizens don't do such a big damage to you, so it's not that horribly bad being hit by them. And nice, they actually keeps the item where it's meant to be. Oh yeah, club. Game gives you club when there's need to be smash something. Yeah, need an earth rune, but yeah, just a simple thing, simple little mobility thing. Yeah, lower the floor upstairs. Now get a bust, which is a metal, like a metal item, or yeah. It's not that the level is unfamiliar with, because they're basically redoing all the levels from the original MediEvil, but it's the sheer new visual style that makes it my brain rearrange, rework, redo itself.
Hurry, comrades, tear this place apart. If we don't find the shadow artifact, Lord Zarek will have us mocking out the demons for the next millennium.
Yeah. Enemies. Real enemies now. But they even had a few lines. They got guns. But them having guns doesn't make them any more capable than your average. Well, suffice to say, those dudes weren't not particularly frightening. So it's now time to head to the smithy, which is over there. Because now I can use the landlord's bust. Oh, I guess I have to use it here. There it is. It has come on. Oh yeah. That skipped all the unnecessary part of cleaning up the castings and all that kind of things, which do take a while. But now I have the crucifix, so let's just push that one over there, which opens more paths. Opened up that door because I have the key. Let's read it.
Dear sir and madam, on my
Oh yeah, and there's the thing called things called shadow demons in place of Tomb of Shadow Demons, and that's something Zarek wants. So, if it's something Zarek wants, we want to stop it. Quite simple hero logics. Stop the bad guy doing what bad guy wants to do. If bad guy wants to build orphanage, you're gonna make it so that he doesn't build any orphanages. But I don't know any kind of story where the bad guy wants to build orphanages. At least in that kind of sense, that where it would be clear and obvious who is the bad guy of the story. But yeah. Path and jump over the wall to the big place. There's all kinds of things around here. Chance to go to the roof, but first, you think you're scary and badass, even enemies? Well, you can think again, because you whatever they thought about them being, they thought wrong. Dan Fortescue has no organs to pierce, so he is quite immune to bullets. Not completely, of course, because bones break when you shoot him. But things like broken liver or something like that, they don't hurt. He doesn't mind those kind of little injuries. So open up the inventory. No safe is safe. And I got the shadow artifact, which is a important item. But where was the chalice? It was quite hidden in this stage. and it was somewhere around the house, but not like not do that. Oh yeah, Dan dash. Is it over there? Well, there's health while and money in there, but yeah, the stages in this are not in medieval are usually not that big or complex, and this is about what you have to do. Matters. This is one of the more complex stages of the game. So, but let's just go and defeat these idiots. Well, you weren't particularly impressive. So, was it here? It's around here somewhere. Oh yeah, there it was. See it? It's a good thing that I didn't find it before, because I would have still. And my memories was right about it being quite near the house. Yeah, you can laugh as much as you want. Possessed villager, you are not particularly impressive as such. But time to leave the city again. And this game has lots of trophies, and just playing through the game gives you quite many of them. So let's just see. 8 of them gone, and if I remember right, this game has 20 stages, so it would be a 40% progress, judging by these. Oh yeah, much bigger place. So, and there's another guy over the other.
Dan. Don't be shy. I've seen you giving me the eye. You may be weak and feeble like old men, but I like you, Daniel. Now listen up. Your bow and arrows are fine for itty-bitty jobs, but if you want to pack some serious heat, you should take this spear.
Yeah, you could say the most powerful projectile weapon of the game, spear, which of course in this game doesn't mean much, because most of the combat it can be either ignored or just goes to the hand-to-hand thing. But leaving the Hall of Hero again opens up once again new locations. It opens the Asylum Grounds, which will be next time thing to go through. So I'll see you then. See ya.